Aquarius, your emotional limits are becoming impossible to negotiate away. You've been trying to stay detached, productive, or mentally focused, while quietly absorbing more emotional pressure than anyone realizes. But this week, Cancer energy pulls attention directly toward your physical and emotional exhaustion. Your system needs relief, not more endurance. Mercury and Jupiter in Cancer expose where routines, obligations, or relationships have become emotionally unsustainable. You may suddenly recognize how much of your energy goes toward maintaining stability for everyone except yourself. That realization lands heavily. Mars in Virgo intensifies emotional depth and vulnerability you usually prefer to process privately. Something buried underneath the surface wants acknowledgement now. Resentment, grief, fear, or emotional fatigue you kept postponing because survival felt more urgent. Midweek changes the emotional atmosphere significantly. A conversation or realization interrupts your usual emotional distance and forces honesty about what is truly draining you. Once that happens, your priorities begin reorganizing quickly, and honestly, that is overdue. Saturn in Aries is restructuring communication, boundaries, and emotional accountability. You are learning to say what you actually mean instead of cushioning every truth to keep the peace. That changes your relationships immediately. By July 3rd and 4th, clarity returns alongside emotional steadiness. You stop feeling trapped inside emotional noise and begin identifying practical next steps again. The situation may not resolve instantly, but your internal confusion decreases sharply. This week reminds you that emotional detachment is not the same thing as emotional freedom. Real freedom comes from honesty. Aquarius, your tarot card is the King of Cups. This card represents emotional maturity, emotional steadiness, and controlled vulnerability. You may find yourself handling emotional pressure this week far more calmly than expected. But the King of Cups also warns against suppressing emotions so completely that nobody knows what you actually need. Strength is not emotional silence. Real strength allows honesty without collapse.
Aquarius, you get hexagram 57, Wind over Wind, the Gentle. This hexagram speaks about gradual influence and quiet emotional penetration. Something emotionally significant is changing slowly beneath the surface. The Gentle reminds you that soft truth can sometimes transform more deeply than force ever could. This week favors calm honesty over emotional avoidance.
Aquarius, your rune is Raido. This rune symbolizes movement, alignment, and necessary course correction. A situation that felt emotionally stagnant begins shifting once you acknowledge what must change. Raido asks you to trust forward movement, even if it initially disrupts your comfort. The path becomes clearer once you begin walking it honestly.
This week guided many of you towards stronger emotional boundaries, deeper self-respect, and clearer emotional direction. So tell me in the comments, what are you finally ready to stop tolerating emotionally? If this reading helped you feel more grounded, subscribe and turn on notifications so we can continue walking through these shifts together. And do not forget to watch your rising sign too. Sometimes your rising sign carries the guidance your heart most needs right now.